For our next question, we need to observe the diagram and answer a series of questions, right? So the diagram is this, and the first question asks us to label parts 1 to 4. If you notice, 1 is not at the top over here, 1 is at the bottom, because this is a very, very important evidence. It is the paleontological evidence. The deeper we dig inside the ground, the more behind we go in time, and we get an idea which organisms would have come on Earth first and which later. So the first layer is talking about invertebrates. These were creatures that belong to the category of annelids, arthropods, crustaceans, all these different creatures that did not have a vertebral column. It evolved eventually. In the second layer, in the second part over here, we have a mixture of Pisces, amphibia and reptiles. Lowermost would be Pisces, right? Fish evolved from these invertebrates which evolved into amphibians, some animals that can live both in water as well as on land, and over them are reptiles. Then in the third layer exclusively we have a lot of reptiles, our dinosaur friends present over here. And in the last layer, from the reptiles have evolved mammals and aves. Aves are birds, right? So this word over here might be complicated for a few of us. So we will split it into 3 parts. Invertebrates, right? So invertebrates, creatures that do not have a backbone. Alright, another word, amphibia, right? Creatures that live both in water as well as on land, right? We can split it as amphibia into 3 parts. Next question related to the same diagram is, what is the evidence of evolution shown in the picture? So I have already told you, it is the paleontological evidence over here that is shown, which is the study of the fossils found in the different layers of the ground, different layers of the earth, right? And finally, they ask us the third important question, what is carbon dating? So we already know there is something called as isotopes of carbons that exist. So we have carbon 12 and carbon 14. Carbon 14 being a heavier isotope. It is unstable. It always wants to become stable by giving away radiation, right? So the ratio of carbon 12 is to carbon 14 inside the bodies of living organism goes on decreasing. With the help of this, we can actually pinpoint the age of different fossils and the manuscripts. So that is what we mentioned in the first point over here. Carbon dating is a method used in determining the age of the fossil and of the manuscripts. Manuscripts are all these different writings that our ancient ancestors would have kept. This word might be complicated for us, so let's describe it. Let's split it into parts, into 3 parts, manuscripts. Okay, and as I already told you, carbon 14 and carbon 12 is what we write about in the next point. So the time passed since the death of a plant or an animal can be calculated by measuring the radioactivity of carbon 14 and the ratio of carbon 14 and carbon 12 present in the body. So because carbon 14 is radioactive, more the radioactivity, younger the fossil, less the radioactivity, older the fossil. There's an alternative method also, which I already told you, would be to figure out the ratio of carbon 14 is to carbon 12. With time, the ratio goes on decreasing, right? So that's your answer.